Hello and welcome to another edition of You in 2042, the future of work. Joining me today is Evelyn Solski.
Hello, I'm Evelyn Solski. I'm a learning and development professional working for a major FI.
I'm so excited that you're here with me today because if you look back, if you think back from 2000 to now, there's been so much change in the workplace and learning and development. What do you think the next 21 years may bring?
A lot of, I don't know necessarily mean change, but I think there will be quite a bit of change when it comes to technology. AI will definitely be one of the driving tools for the change of how, not only how we do things, but also how we train and teach to a lot of the new skill sets that are going to be required. A company by the name of Sansa Labs is actually doing something absolutely amazing with all of their AI-driven tools. More rapid authoring tools like Articulate Rise, something where you don't necessarily need a degree, you don't need a lot of training to pick up and go. So a lot more of, I want to learn this, half an hour later, tool's amazing, I'm able to actually perform my own tasks, and away we go. So a lot more of self discovery and self taught will be the new somewhat norm, I would say.
So in that future world of self-discovery and self-taught, what I'm
hmm
hearing you say is that there's new tools to even support that we as learning and development can use to fully and quickly enable learners to acquire those skills.
For sure.
And you also
hmm
mentioned this new skill set.
hmm
What do you think the skill set is that people will be essential to have in this future workplace?
Well, it's going to be more about skills based and competency based, and not necessarily role based, right? So there is um, a massive increase based on micro certification. So if you think of, for example, Google's doing a huge in this particular learning space. They are, I would say, kind of leading the trend, um, where more traditional education degrees are still relevant. Don't get me wrong, and they are still going to be there. But I think a lot more micro learning. There's going to be a lot more competency based and a lot more skill based, because a degree is one thing, but how do you perform? How can you actually put two and two together will be huge.
So not just the role-based training world that we see today, but
For sure.
truly this future world where it is skill-based in what people are learning. And then
hmm
potentially, I imagine having those right Lego blocks of skills that are needed for that particular role.
Absolutely. So if I can use just a high level example, I can tell you that the organization that I work for, they encourage individuals to move around, right? Kind of gain that experience, be more well-rounded. Don't just sit in one little role, kind of expand your wings, develop those new competencies, those new skills. I'm not saying necessarily go from IT to like being legal or anything of that sort, but kind of keep growing, keep developing. And the best way to do that is by moving employees around to different roles. Um, and for businesses on having some more self-learning. So self-learning tools will definitely be a huge support.
So with this future world of self-discovery, especially supported through more rapid authoring tools and AI enablement, it can lead to microcertification and then
Mhm.
further supported by the organization allowing people with the right competencies to move into new roles. With that future world in mind, what can learning and development do to help get us there?
That's a great question. And you know what? I actually had a conversation about this with one of my colleagues, and learning and development is almost old school. So if you're thinking of 2042, really, we are by being our human nature is to learn. Our human nature is to adapt and to develop on a daily basis. Oftentimes we don't realize how many new skill sets we actually do acquire. even from, let's say, something as basic as of our soft skills, right? So accessibility is huge, is a big one, where how do we speak to people? Being inclusive is another one, right? So making sure we're not being biased in any way. So keeping all that in mind, we are natural learners. What we do need to kind of, not necessarily, maybe rebrand might be the right word, but something to make it more performance based and enable, right? So we are enablers, we are performance enablers more so than we are learning and development. Learning and development is more of your traditional. Here, you're going to go to university, you're going to go to college, you're going to acquire X, Y, Z, whereas in the learning and development space, we are more performance enablers, right? We want to enable you to do your job or enable you to keep growing for the most part in any aspect that you choose.
That makes so much sense. And it really is that rebuilding of what learning and development does.
Mm-hmm,
It
for
truly
sure.
is. That is so needed, that being those performance enablement to acquire that future skills. I love this future vision that you have. And I can
Mm-hmm.
see that path, that narrow path that we can take to get there. Any other last thoughts?
One other thing that I would say is listening, but really listening, not listen to respond, but listen to what is actually being spoken to, is another skill that's really jumping out at me. And adaptability, being adaptable, not
Uh,
just flexible, but being actually adaptable. Because oftentimes we get very set in our own ways and we get stuck there. Whereas we need to adapt to things that are changing. We had to adapt to our new reality at this point, wherever that may go, may actually set us sail. But yeah, our soft skills are going to be crucial in our future development.
Such a critical subset of skills to support that future world.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much,
My
Evelyn. These
pleasure.
great insights. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Wonder about the future and how you'll be working and learning? Welcome to You in 2042, the future of work, with your host, Danielle Wallace.